Good evening. I am Ibrahim Zahreddine from Innovation Factory. I'm here to briefly introduce to you the factory, what we do at the factory, who do we do it with, and how we got to where we are. So the factory, in short, is a physical platform that offers the users space, machinery, and expertise. So what do we mean exactly by space? I'm going to start in general. The factory is an old factory. It used to be an actual furniture factory that we acquired and we transformed into Innovation Factory. We transformed it into spaces for co-working. So we lent out fixed desks, hot desks, and places for people to work. Office space. I will give you examples later of who are the tenants of the factory. Event spaces. This is, for example, the Beirut Design and Tech Meetup by the Creative Cluster. Social space, and most importantly, fun space. So we do launch albums, music, events, and anything of the sort. Most importantly is that we also launch products. The second and most important aspect of the factory is its machinery. So the factory has accessible for the tenants or the users of the factory a whole lot of array of machinery that they can use in multiple ways. Most importantly is the digital fabrication aspect of it. Digital fabrication stands for any type of fabrication that is computer numeric control, which means that the interface between the user and the machine is through a computer, and there is no intervention of the users. So we have the basic FDM 3D printers, but we also have one of two SLA 3D printers in Lebanon that print in liquid resin that are usually used for jewelry and dentistry, that we are using for high precision biotech and tech products. We have laser cutter, we have a CNC router, and we have a full metal workshop, we have full wood workshop, and full wood. Now you might ask, why are these available? Why are these things that are made available for tenants and what kind of users? Now we will go into details. But most importantly as well on top of this is that you are not left alone with the spaces and with the machinery, but you are surrounded with the experts. And the experts are the team of Innovation Factory. We are a team of almost 18 to 20 people, and we are diverse in terms of background. We have backgrounds in strategy, communication, and business. We have design expertise, digital fabrication, so that people can operate the machinery without themselves being the experts in it. And we have a big team of engineers that will help you figure out the product and how you want to do it and why you want to do it. And we have metal craftsmanship and wood craftsmanship. The target audience that we are targeting for this, so that the services that are offered are of value, are mainly entrepreneurs. So we are working with a lot of entrepreneurs that are prototyping their products. They are making sure that they are feasible cost-wise and demand-wise, but most importantly, can they be done? And can we have a proof of concept? Can we have an early stage prototype? Can we have something that we can show for our investors, for our competitions, or anything that we are working in? We work with designers, we work with architects, we work with engineers, and we work with artists. So the use of technology that we are talking about is also servicing the artist sector. Now I'm going to go back to something that Ralph mentioned in the first presentation, that we are focusing on the IoT, and therefore there will be a lot of communication with NI supposedly in the near future on how we can move into something that is more beneficial for the rest of the ecosystem, which is by using your technology. At the time being, I think in the prototyping, this was a question I wanted to ask actually, is when you draw the line between IoT and IIoT. So maybe we can have this discussion later. Sideline. So the story. Sorry?
Industrial IoT.
Yes.
Okay.
So this was what Ralph was talking about in the beginning. So I'm going to tell you a bit of our story, the story of how the factory got there, because the factory itself is an example of entrepreneurship, prototyping, and whatnot. So my partner and myself were both studying abroad. When we came back to write our thesis, we exchanged these theses, and we realized that we were talking about pretty much the same things in different fields, one coming from design and fabrication, the other coming from business and social impact. So we decided to co-found PID. PID stands for Public Interest Design. It's an NGO that works in development, community development. And through our research, we have identified multiple clusters that actually need this development. Most notably is the Design, Arts and Crafts cluster and also the Entrepreneurship cluster focusing on IoT. And the combination of both started in the DPU Summer Lab in collaboration with Alba University and UCL, University College London, which later led to the Cluster Development Initiative, which was our first pilot for the factory, where we brought together people from multiple disciplines, engineers, architects, designers, entrepreneurs, craftsmen, etc. And we redefined what is considered to be a desktop object, and we came up with multiple products that actually led to a lot of business development for the people that were attending. And from the green line that we got from the pilot project, we moved to the factory, we built the factory, we got our first tenants, which are Rodi Tuner. They are currently our tenants at the factory. We got more tenants, such as Sevag Babikian. He actually built his second prototype when he was in Stars of Science from the factory. We got tools, lots of tools, and the way we actually were able to expand was through making strategic alliances with partners in the industry. This whole project has been done without funding and without investment. It was purely by bootstrapping projects and doing strategic alliances with important partners. We got machinery and we started to make an impact. This was actually not long ago. I think it was 2 to 3 weeks ago. This was the IoT award by Alpha and Ericsson. Hadi Zambarakji and his partner won the competition. They had worked on the competition, refined it, and completed their proof of concept at the factory. And Hadi now is one of the team members of the factory engineers. Thank you.